In the emerging race to supply artificial intelligence to governments, two companies have taken noticeably different positions. Anthropic has publicly stated that it would not develop certain capabilities for government use, including systems designed for mass surveillance or fully autonomous weapons. That position establishes a clear boundary. Regardless of how governments might want to use AI, Anthropic is signaling that some applications fall outside what the company considers acceptable. But government demand for advanced capabilities does not disappear when one company declines. It moves to another provider. That is where OpenAI enters the conversation. OpenAI has continued expanding partnerships with government and defense institutions, positioning its models as infrastructure for national security applications. This difference highlights a deeper philosophical divide. Anthropic's position assumes companies developing frontier technology should draw ethical boundaries before governments deploy it. But historically, defense contractors have rarely operated this way. Consider Boeing. When Boeing builds aircraft for the Department of Defense, it does not dictate how those aircraft will ultimately be used. The military determines whether those planes become transport vehicles, surveillance platforms, or heavily armed gunships. The contractor builds the technology. The government decides the application. That has been the standard model of defense procurement for decades. Anthropic's stance challenges that model by suggesting technology companies should retain some control over the ways their systems are deployed. OpenAI's willingness to participate in government programs reflects a more traditional framework, one where companies provide the technology and governments determine how it is used. Both approaches raise difficult questions. Should companies building powerful technologies restrict how governments use them? Or is it ultimately the role of democratic institutions to decide how those tools are deployed? As artificial intelligence becomes embedded in national security infrastructure, the answer to that question may define the ethical framework of the entire industry. Because the companies writing the code are now much closer to the front line of power than technology companies have ever been before.